sampling methods, some statistical methods also. So that implementation part also I will be giving in the continuous evaluation part. And it's a continuous evaluation. So we have to do it continuously during the lectures. We are going to start from next week onwards. So I will be giving you presentation topics based on the topics based on the course content, and accordingly we will plan it because it has to be continuous, and we have to prepare the evaluation accordingly. Okay, so this subject is very much essential nowadays because we know that research is everywhere. In the small things also we have to do reading what is currently what is the system, what are the challenges in the system, what are the applications, what are the background study which is required for the development of a system. And then we have to see to it that can we have something, can we have some research, can we have some innovation component can be added in the existing system, or we can develop the new system. So to develop a new system also we have to see what are the existing systems available, what are their positive points, what are their limitations and all. You all have done your graduation, so you know that whenever you're starting with any problem statement, you have to see to it that what is currently available, right? So what are things available, what are the people opinion about it, how they have proceeded with the situation, what have they have implemented, everything has to be studied before forming these questions. So forming the research question is an important step. Okay, so course objective for this subject, am I audible, Pragati?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, objectives are to understand philosophy of research in general, right? So, so what are the uh, understanding of research? What is motivation behind this in general? To understand diverse aspects of research methodology. So, what are the major components in it? To enhance proficiency in verbal and written presentation ability. This is very important and it is very essential for MTech student because we have to see to it that how do you present the topic, how do you write about the concept which you have implemented or about your research methodology. To get familiar with IPR, that is intellectual property rights and plagiarism. So what are the different types of IPR? How do we proceed with it? What are the available policies in India and outside India? So these all things you will learn in this subject. So at the end of this course, students will able to understand the significance of research, develop the methodologies for collecting and analyzing data. So starting from your data set till you're getting result, entire process will be covered in the research methodology. Okay. Then formulate and assess hypothesis through experimentation because you need to build up, you need to write your own statement about a system, right? So these are called as a hypothesis. So we'll see in detail, but you need to write your hypothesis that this system will work if this is available, or in spite of this, my system is going to work. Whatever positive statement, whatever negative statement that you are writing, any propositions that is considered as a hypothesis, you need to write the hypothesis and assess the hypothesis. So there are several hypothesis testing methods are there, which is not written in detail in the syllabus, but we will discuss one hypothesis testing method, and I think it is part of another subject as well. But in the relevance with this subject content, we'll cover one hypothesis test. Then research report writing is essential because your 50% of work is involved in writing the research report. So that has to be very thorough, that has to be concise, that has to be clear and clear elements of your research report. Everything has to be there. So how do we go ahead with this? That you will learn. Design and write a research report. And the last one is identify and compare various forms of IPR, that is intellectual property. So these are the things you will learn in this subject. when to go for copyrights, when to go for if I wanted to just publish my patent, what is the deadline and everything. So this all things you will learn in the project. So the first is research methodology, defining research problem, and then how do we go ahead with the research design. So conceptualizing research design, starting from research to this. This is covered in the, this will be covered in the first unit. The second unit where we are starting with the data collection. So before data collection, you have to see to it what are the existing method, what are the reputed sources from where you can get your data, how do you interpret your data, how do you understand your data, what is the process of it, that we are going to see in case of literature survey. And the survey and research report, the survey part will get covered in this topic. Then locating, yeah, relevant literature, information, managing information, and writing a review. This is entirely a part of literature review. I think you have your lab also based on it, right? So where you have to write a literature survey. So that I will cover this tomorrow. There is a lab session. So this I will cover tomorrow in the first assignment. Then methods of primary and secondary data collection. So whenever you need to develop a system, you need a data, right? So from where you get the data, what are the primary sources, what are the secondary sources? Is the data needed from the real time extraction of data, or you have a data already available with you? So these all things you will learn in the second module. Then there are so many things like if I'm having a large amount of data, maybe more than 1 lakh samples, 1 lakh population data which I have, but it is not feasible to use all the data in this survey. So what I will do is strategy to take a sample sorting strategy from the population, from the entire data set. How do you take a samples? So there's all basics of sampling theory, then the concept of standard error estimation on population, determining sampling sample size, will learn in the module 2. In the module 3, once you have developed all these parameters, once you know how do we test our hypothesis, then the last 2 units are completely theoretical, where you have to write a report writing. I mean, write a report based on different components of it. So report writing significance and steps, types of technical content publishing, how, where do you publish your data, where do you publish your contents of your research work, maybe in the form of journal, maybe in the form of conference paper, which conferences are good, which conferences are reputed, and which one to avoid. This all you will learn in the module 3. Poster paper, what is the difference in between the conference paper and conference poster? So this is important. Short paper, white paper, generally uh, the standard companies publish their white paper based on their work. So this all you will learn here. Then the concept of review paper and survey paper. How do you make use of, where, I mean, you have a certain problem statement identified, then you need to see to it that what is an existing work in the system, in the available system. So for that, you have to survey some papers. So maybe 1,000 paper, maybe 100 papers you have gone through. You can write a survey paper. You can write a survey paper based on different methodology which is used in the paper, different data set based survey, then analysis based survey. So these all the survey you need to carry out, and this is a part of your survey paper. Journal paper, then indexing agencies, scope, these are all indexing agencies. So whenever you are selecting your journal, you have to see to it that is it a Scopus indexing, most of the times it is asked. So what it is, right? So this is very important to understand, and this is the part of technical content writing. And the last unit is IPR. So, what are the types of IPR? How it is been established? How it has been done in India and other countries?
All
What are
yes.
the steps in patenting? How do we write application? Then how do you file application? What is the process involved in it and all? Then plagiarism and research ethics is also very important. Then finally, research tools where you will go in detail of plagiarism
Ah,
checking tools, grammar checker tools and
yeah.
all. Part of this, there is some work which is also mentioned, discussion on research by eminent researchers and their research work with citation analysis and related patents and IPR.
आज नीट बघितलं बाया
So
बोल.
this is additional
आज नीट बघून
kind
काय
of an
बोलतो.
assignment or kind
व्यवस्थित
of a
टेक्स्ट
work
करत.
where we have to find out a researcher, eminent researcher in certain field. If you are interested in natural language processing, find out the researchers who is doing good. But how do you find out the researchers? You need to see what are his key papers, what are the citations, what is index, what is H index, all these indexes you need to identify that I will tell you how to do this. Once you have identified the researcher, then you have to see what is his progress. So all these things you need to understand, you need to identify, you need to write it in this particular additional assignment. Case studies on industry relevance and recent trends. So that also we are going to get, we have discuss in the respective units. So these are all contained of the syllabus and the book, major book. The first one is Ranjit Kumar Research Methodology Step by Step Guide for Beginner. It is available in library. And the next one is C.R. Kothari, which is the Research Methodology Methods and Technique. This book, there are many copies available of this. Along with this, I will share few soft copies also of book, which you can refer for the subject content. Now it is, we earlier we were having 6 units, but now it has been reduced to 4 unit because we have only 3 lectures per week. So that's why the contents are reduced. But the major part or major theme of a research methodology we have to maintain. And I will try to cover the important elements of the subject, and accordingly we will take it in the assignment as well as in the quiz and other section. Okay. It's completely theory subject, but so that's why understanding of the uh, different components of a research process is very important, though it is theoretic. Okay. So this is all about syllabus. Yes, students, are you having any doubt? Online students?
No ma'am.
Okay,
I'm good.
thank you. I will not take up the lab part. Subject also with respect to the lab. So the first assignment is reviewing research paper, which is just take one research paper and review it. What is the major research question which is addressed in the paper and all. So this is all about the first unit, which is in line with your first unit. The second one is research literature review, quality, and research proposal. Here also, it is completely given in the problem statement itself what you are supposed to do. I will tell you what are the relevant tools to use to find out the quality of literature review. Then data modeling and statistical review, where you have to model your data, you have to find out the statistical view of a data by applying some statistical methods to it. Then research paper analysis, there are analytical research, analytical analysis survey you're supposed to do in this one. And the last one is research proposal. So this is in line with the last unit, where you have to write your own research proposal. Starting with the introduction part, with the motivation, methodology, analysis, and all the components of research plan accordingly, budgetary requirement, and then writing the conclusion and then the references. So this is the sixth unit, and then patent claim identification. So you have to come up with some patent topic based on some research paper, based on some journal paper. So come up with the research topic, the base of research topic, and accordingly you have to write a patent application. So these are the content of your lab plan. I will tell you in detail in the lab session. So before going in detail, let us have introduction, student introduction, because this is first lecture. Tell me about you.
I'm Shivani Shakur. I'm BTech from VIT in electronics.
Okay, VIT, and your interest, you are data science student, computer.
हम्म
And what was your project?
काय रे
We
किती
okay, so it is image
कशाला
processing. So which machine learning method you have used? Sorry,
नाही मोठी आहे ती
LGTM. Okay. What about you?
काय झाली हम्म
Okay. Audio, fingerprinting. Okay. Music analysis, music recognition. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Fake image. Okay. Fake products. Okay. 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 Good. Okay. Online students, can you give introduction one by one? Pragati,
Yes, ma'am. Hi, I'm Pragati. I'm from Pandharpur. I have done my graduation in computer engineering from Cummins, Pune.
from which college?
Cummins, Pune, Karve
Okay.
University.
Okay. Okay. So are you working now?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And your branch?
Uh, in BTech,
BTech. What is the branch? Computer engineering.
computer engineering. Yes, ma'am.
Next, Abhishek.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for letting me introduce myself. I'm Abhishek Ruple, born and brought up in Nagpur, and I'm working in capacity of data scientist with Empower Financial Services Bangalore. And prior to this, talking about my academic tenure, so I have done my bachelor's in mechanical engineering from Sierra College of Engineering, Pune, accredited to Savitribai Phule University, and it was completed in academic year 2020. That's all. Thanks.
21. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Abhishek. Rohit.
या
No, it's 2020. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
हॅलो हॅलो
Yes.
या Hi everyone, I'm Rohit Savan. I'm a computer science graduate from PQIT Baudan in April 2020. After completion of my graduation, I joined a Byju's training program as a junior software developer. After completing my training, I joined a company named Matushri Engineering. Currently, I work as a senior software developer.
Okay. Yes, Pranav.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. My name is Pranav Vagmare, born and brought up in Pune itself. I did my BTech in Computer Science and Engineering from MIT ADT University, and I am the recent batch pass out of 2024. And then am pursuing now as MTech in Computer Engineering. And my last year, my final year project was in the field of image processing, and the machine learning algorithm which we used was convolutional neural network of deep learning.
Okay. Okay. Yes, Zubair.
Hi everyone, myself Zubair Sheikh. I'm from Ahmednagar. I have completed my bachelor's from Sambhaji Nagar.
Okay. So currently, are you working?
No, I'm not working.
Okay. So you also not working, huh? You are full time. That's good.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Thank you, students. I introduce myself. I'm Dr. Sheetal Sonawane, working with PICT from last 20 years. I have done my PhD from COEP in 2018 in the area of natural language processing. My major work was doing extractive summarization by making use of mathematical graph theory. And I have collaborated with mathematics department of COEP, and my guide was Dr. Parag Kulkarni. Earlier, I did my MTech or ME. Earlier, it was ME from PICT in 2006. I joined PICT in 2003. My graduation pass out year is 2000. So my major inclination of is doing work, doing research in computational linguistics, and I have many students associated with me, UG students as well as PG. I'm research guide also. I two research students are working under me as a PhD scholar, and major inclination of my research work is doing natural language processing in Indic languages as well, Marathi, Hindi, and mostly I'm been associated with the alumni as well. So I'm handling alumni cell of institute. So I am actually in touch with many reputed organizations who are our, I mean, key people, like key alumni are handling. So I've been associated with industries as well. So that's why it's a good, uh, uh, your initiative to take admission in PICT, because PICT is having so much exposure to industry. You will get good internships opportunities in your second year. Also, placement opportunities are also there, but you have to be always in line with your placement office, always in line with what is current trends, the basic which is required. You can talk to your seniors and take their help and accordingly update yourself. This is very important. And those who are working, we are providing online as well. So make sure that you are utilizing the department, you are utilizing the expertise of teachers, so that it will benefit to you for your future research work, for future industry work as well. And those who are willing to do in academics, they will also get benefit of it. Okay. So this is all about because we also very much interested to see what are majority of our work is for your MTech syllabus. We do have seminars, we have dissertation work. So in case of seminar 1, seminar 2, seminar 3 and dissertation work, so these four components are there which actually involve research work. So in seminar 1 also you have to see to it that you follow the research process, you have to see to it that you do a proper research
त्रास होते ना
literature work, survey, and accordingly write your
नवीन
research
कवर
report. So
केलं पाहिजे
research
होतं
is going to use for every semester,
नाही
starting
पॅकेजिंग
from next
नवीन आलं
semester.
आता न्यू
So
बिगर
make sure
बोली
that you have gone through each and every concept of research
हे असं
methodology
लिहून दिलं
in
ते बरं
detail.
केलं त्यांनी नाही
Okay?
डुप्लिकेट वाटते ना माणसाला
Online student, is this clear? Any doubt or any
Yes,
point
ma'am.
to ask?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so let us start with the first unit, which is what do you mean by research? What is the significance of it?
Oh,
Okay, so the two important elements which we are going to discuss over here
ah,
is research and objectives of research. So what do you mean by research? This is very simple. Concept where we wanted to find out
त्रास
something
व्हायला
like,
लागलाय
let
बाबा.
us say simple example of metro. Now we are going to, we know that the metro is being designed from certain area to
मला
another,
आता कुठलाच बोलायचं नाही
from
विषय माझा
source
त्रास
to
होतोय.
destination. All these routes are designed according to the customer need, according to the available
नाही तर एक
infrastructure,
तासात
according
लयच
to
प्रेशर
the
आलं
sanction
व्यवस्थित
plan,
म्हणल्यावर.
according to the future perspective as well. So these are all components are needed to take a plan of a metro in Pune or in another different regions. So based on this, so these decisions have been made based on the research which has been involved in making this
मला इथं वास
decisions,
येतोय
right?
का?
So one, the first component is very important and integral part of your practice, right? It has to be
झालं ना ते
integral
आता?
part of your practice. So if you are starting from one place, another
हा.
place. So in case of why the
माझ्या
metro has been
पोटाचं खराब
designed
झालंय बाबा.
and
मशीन नाही ग. खाऊ नको.
in particular route based on the existing traffic,
नाही
based on the
माझ्याकडे द्या.
available infrastructure. So all these things are required to take a
माझ्याकडे
decision.
द्या
So that's
पावडर.
why it has to be an integral part of your practice. That whatever you are doing day by day, daily on daily basis, right? So based on this, I
आ,
mean, I have a certain
असं लहान
basis.
पोरांना
Let's say stock
दाखवतात
market
ते. लहान
analysis.
पोरं आपली
In case
पावडर
of stock
घेतात
market
त्या
analysis,
घरातली हो.
we know that
असे
we can
टाकतात.
predict the stock
ते
based
बघ.
on different parameters.
आणि बापाचं
So
कार्ड
it is a
घेतलं
daily
ना
practice. So
लाईटी
daily
वरून
practice,
दाखवतात.
what I mean to say
हे
that
का करते
during
टीव्हीत
Diwali
दाखवतात ना ड्रग जायचे घेतात म्हणून.
time,
लहान पोरं
the
ड्रग्स
sale has
घ्यायचे
been
म्हणते.
increased or the stock has been increased of particular stock, right? So all these decisions have been made because this is been practiced on last 10 years. So that's why it has been an integral part of your practice. It's a way of thinking. How do you think? How do you see the problem? How do you interpret the problem? How do you survey the uh, problem? So that's why it's a way of thinking. Examining critically the various aspects of day-to-day
दुसरं
professional work.
चाललंय
As I
कसं.
mentioned,
आई हावली
it
का
is
म्हणलंय
so much
कुठनं वास
components
येतोय
which is involved
तर
in it.
हे आहे
Let us
घालत.
see that. Let us
मी
say one
म्हंटल
of
वास का येतोय परत इथनं
earlier in
यायचा.
Pune on the Satara road, there
ते
was
वास जळल्याचा.
BRT been introduced, but it is failed,
अगं घरातलं नाही
right?
वास जळली ना आता
Why?
दिव्याची.
Because which
वास
have
मला
not
आता
been
आला.
examined critically, starting from the first phase, right? So that's why day-to-day professional work, there has to be a critical examination to start with or come up with the motivation to solve certain problem. So this
मग
is very
मगाशीच
important.
सांगायचं ना मला बाबू.
Understanding and formulation guiding principles that governs a particular procedure.
सांगायचं ना मला
So
कंटिन्युअस वास येतो ते 15-20 मिनिटं
in
जळत.
simple case, whenever
तुम्ही
you are
बॅगच
doing
लावा देवा.
certain procedure, you do have some
टाकलं
steps
की मी
being
मग
taken
नेट.
into consideration as a
हो.
guiding principle, right? So if I'm starting with the metro, if the metro plan is designed, what are the components which is involved in it? You need
आज
to
मला
first
काहीच
talk
शिकू
to the
वाटत नाही
person
बाबू.
who are having their
खैर.
shops nearby location on the metro route or maybe on the same metro route. You have to take their opinion.
हम्म.
You need to perform a survey to
मला
take
वाटलं
people
तुझं बरं झालंय
opinion
आता काय
in the
प्रॉब्लेम
in
नाही
the
तुला अजून चुकतंय
respective
मम्मी
route.
म्हणजे.
So the guiding principles are very important. So
मला वाटलं काल
government
बरं
has
झाली
to
तू.
set a guiding principles
तू
to
माझ्यासाठी हो म्हणली का आपली.
to use for a certain
हा.
procedure. So understanding and
मला
formulation
उघडं ना.
guiding principles that governs
थांब.
a particular
यांना हाता यांना
procedure,
देणार.
right? So if I'm solving a problem of daily traffic, I should have a metro from this point to the destination point. So for that purpose, we
नाही देत
should come
त्यांना.
up with a
नाही.
new guiding principle. We should come up with a certain guiding principles for it. Developing and testing new theories that contribute to advancement of your
दाखव
practice
बघू.
and profession. So this
झालं
is
का?
again the same thing, and
आम्हीच सोडलं होतं.
new
सोडलं
theories.
नव्हते का मी?
So if I'm saying that from let's say
दात
I do
वाकडे
have a
बिकडे होऊ शकतात
hypothesis
ना?
starting from point A, point 1 to point 2,
मला लय त्रास होतोय साहेब.
point A
संग्राम मला
to
त्रास होतोय
B,
संग्राम.
point C from B to let's say D, and I do have certain another bit which is coming to D point. D point. Okay. So what I can do is I can have different hypotheses. I can set an hypothesis that the metro route can be from starting from point A to point B to point B. Another hypothesis may be from point A to B directly. Third one is maybe from A to C, A to E, E to F, and then F to simultaneous.
हा?
In between, I do have 3 points.
नाही
So
आई
this is my
आले
third
3:30 पर्यंत
hypothesis.
चावणार आहेत
So I
मम्मी.
need to write certain hypotheses
साहेब
for claiming
3:30 पर्यंत
claiming
चावणार
the
आहेत दोघं मिळून.
I mean to have a solution to my problem. I have certain set of hypotheses.
आज
So
ती
developing
पोरगी
and
गेली
testing
निघून,
new
मी पण जाऊ
theories
का
that
निघून?
contribute to the advancement of practice and profession. So in this case, what I can have is I can
आर्य
have a
शिंदे
route
नाही
from
का
A
मध्ये?
to D. I
ते
can
गेले
have a
निघून.
route from A to B to D. I can have a route from A to C
हो.
like this. So for that purpose, I need to see to it that whether there is a requirement of having a metro stop at these locations specific to this locations. If it is needed, if it is being taken cover in this particular
आज
routes,
बुंदी पण
then I
आहे.
can have a metro route starting
आज
from
बुंदी
A
पण आहे
to
आणलं
D through C, E, F. In the
युनिव्हर्सिटीचं.
similar case, I can have a requirement of
आणि
metro
कांदा
route,
पण टाकलाय
possible
म्हणते आज
destination,
मसाले
possible
भात मध्ये.
distance in between these two units, possible infrastructure available, and accordingly we can set up a new theory based on the problem statement. So we should write a new theories, not only developing a new theories, you need to test it also. So these are very important concepts. So you have to come up with your problem statement and test the problem statement. So before coming up to the exact problem statement, you need to first write the hypothesis. Hypothesis लिखना पड़ेगा कि what are possible ways of handling a research problem? What are possible ways to solve a research problem? I can start from A, I can come to B, and then come to D. So this is my one hypothesis. Or maybe in these are set of hypotheses, and later on, after testing an hypothesis, you come to know that this is not a feasible solution. Or maybe this is also not feasible solution, then you can go ahead with the solution. So developing new theories and testing new theories is very important in case of research that contribute to the advancement of your practice and profession. So profession maybe guidelines or maybe based on certain application, you can have a development of new theory as well. So this is what is required in research. In simple ways, what we wanted to do is we wanted to find out the solution to a research problem. So research is a process of finding solution to a problem after a thorough study and analysis of situation factor. It's a simple definition. I'm trying to get a solution of a research problem after applying the steps to carry out certain steps to get to the solution. So these are all components which is involved. But for that purpose, you need study and analysis of situational factor. Right. So for that purpose, you need to study what are the existing methods, what are their methodology, what are their results, and everything. The next is research provides the needed information that guide manager to make informed decisions to successfully deal with problems.
त्या कानातले गोळे कुठे आहेत सर?
Okay, in simple case, in today's
रात्री होते नाही
situation
तर?
that we do have a spot round and
तेच.
college has taken a decision of making online classes, right? Because it was strategic decisions because the campus is very small. We do have 3,000 applications. We have a lot of research coming and already 1,500 students are there, total students per year. So that becomes very difficult. So right. So in a way, so this research provides a needed information that guide manager to make informed decisions to successfully deal with the problem. This is important because we have to see to it what are going to be future problems. If we are allowing four-wheelers inside the campus, it is going to be very difficult for the because everyone is nowadays having their own vehicle, so it becomes very difficult. So all these problems we have to take into consideration for making the strategic decision. So this is the second point. Third point, the information provided could be the result of careful analysis of data gathered firsthand or the data which is already available. The same example here we can take is metro because we have to see to it that what are the availability of uh, what are the situation, current situation to anybody. We know that lots of every day there is 2 hours, 3 hours traffic problem is there, and that is very important. So this is being taken into two cases. The one is data gathered first hand on field wherever you are collecting the data. That is first hand data. You're going to the field and you are observing and noting the data, noting the observations. So this is called as a first-hand data, or the data is already available. So if you are working on the data which is already state of the art data set which is already available, then it is the in the second category. If by in the company if the
दार
data is
पकड़ा
already available and you're making a decision based on these type of a data, this is also known as research, right? So in simple case, we are trying to
ये
get the
पडतात
solution of a problem.
परत लागल
But get to the solution of a problem, we need to apply these steps. The steps we cannot ignore any step of research process. Every step is having equal equal weightage. So that's why the process is very important. Understood, online students?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So what are the objectives of research? We know that purpose of research is to discover answers of a research problem through the application of scientific procedure. So what do you mean by scientific procedure? Scientific procedure is basically a step-by-step procedure. Scientific means you have a input and you are going to get some output, and there is certain components which is involved or some certain phases which you have to follow to reach to the get the output. So for that purpose, we say that research is a scientific process. Okay, it has to be a scientific process because you're going to get at each and every step there is a possible outcome which is required by the second phase. So what are the general objectives? General objectives. So objectives is basically a very interesting concept. So whenever you are forming an objective of any research problem or any problem to solve. So suppose we wanted to have a metro uh, route, identify metro route. What is the first objective? The first objective would be gathering the information, gathering the uh, uh, observation, gathering the information by taking on-field observation or taking people opinion and everything. So this is my first phase. So this is my first objective. In the similar fashion, whenever you're writing an objective of a research, you need to see to it that you whatever the modules which is involved in your entire research that would be handled by each single objectives. So the first objective is nothing but to gain familiarity with phenomena or achieve new insights. So understanding the problem and then finding out your own interpretation and finding out reaching to the conclusion saying that this problem is exists because of this problem are having certain limitations. So this is your new insights to it, and then you can even claim to it that this problem can be solved by using certain methodology. So here you are understanding the gaining the familiarity and gaining new insights. So it is called as a explanatory or formulative. So you're explaining your problem and you're formulating the new theory or formulating the new insights into it. Right? Then the next one is to portray accurately the characteristics of particular individual situation, which is descriptive research. Right? So you You have to properly describe what is the system, what are the major methodologies which is being used in the system, what are the challenges of a system, what are the commonly used data set, what are the metrics, what is the methodology. If you able to do this is called as a descriptive. You're describing your system. Then next is to determine the frequency with which something occurs or with which it is associated with something else. Diagnostic research. So simple diagnostic research can anyone give example of diagnostic research? Getting familiarity with frequency of something occurs or something is associated with something else. Any example, online students? Go read. Take your time. This is can have an example of COVID also. COVID is because it has been detected because we do have certain symptoms. There is a throat infection, there is a cold, there is a one temperature, all this because these are there. That's why COVID. I mean, so accordingly, so you can see that it is associated with something else. So during that time, we know what was the situation. Because if you have throat infection, you have this, then you are possibly chosen to do the COVID test. So these all association is there. So that is called as a diagnostic research. You have to come up with certain uh, element you have correlation in between the set of elements. So that's why it is called as a diagnostic. And the last one is to test the hypothesis of the causal relationship between variables. So in this case, hypothesis testing is very important to find out the association. As I mentioned, if I'm saying that ABD is my first one rule, where I have to see to it that what is a correlationship. If B is a point, what are the other factors? Other factors may be factors like population, other factors may be the requirement, what is the existing route, existing PMT versus frequency, how many people are using it, all these elements are associated with it. And there has to be certain relationship between these elements to see whether this is relevant or not. Right? So to test the hypothesis of a causal relationship between variables. We'll see it in detail. Again, the characteristics of research. This is completely theory part, the first unit. We know characteristics of research is that how do you say that you have done a good research? How do you signify your research? What are the major characteristics? The characteristics, first characteristics is very simple, directed towards the solution of a problem. The solution of a problem is always not correct. It may be rejected. You may get a failed result also. So that's why the solution is important. The correctness is as not so important. So research is completely directed towards the solution of a problem. Research is based upon observable experience or empirical evidences. So empirical evidences are very simple. I mean, whenever you are writing an evidences, so simple example for this case would be historical evidences. So historical evidences, there are certain cases where certain documents are found, certain monuments are found, certain stones, items are found, and based on these evidences, you can claim that during this period there was a certain lipi was found because it was being crafted on the monuments or on the documents. So this has been researched because this is observed. These are all called as empirical evidences. Observable experience, we know that during metro, this where we actually real-time analysis has been done, field observations been collected, and accordingly the research is carried out. Research demands accurate observation and descriptions. If your observations are not accurate, you are not going to get a good research. You're not always going to get a success of a your research. So it has to be correct. The data has to be correct and quality data, not only correct, it has to be quality to get a good research outcome. Research involves gathering new data from primary sources or using existing data. As we discussed, you can directly go to the field or collect the data uh, and then use the data. Otherwise, you have to use already available data. On internet, you have Kaggle, GitHub, Mendeley, where the data, where the researchers create their own data and publish it. So you can use those data, which is called as secondary type of sources. Research activities are characterized by careful design procedures. It has to be a procedure which is involved in it. You cannot skip any step in the procedure. The last one is research requires expertise. Otherwise, it is a person who cannot interpret, who cannot have connected to the research, who don't know the language, is not able to do the research at all. It requires expertise. I cannot do the research in medical field because I don't have the expertise, right? I don't have an expertise in library sciences as well. So based on your expertise, you can come up with your own observation, you can come up with your own theory to for the which going to be help in your research. So research requires expertise, that is skills necessary to carry out investigation, search the literature, and to understand and analyze the data gathered. So you must have a expertise for the research work, right? So this is very important because we know that in banking also we have a post of IT officers, right? Because it is requirement. And based he can apply his skills and can come up with his own decisions by in banks because it's must. So that's why whenever it is required, the expertise is very important. Last 5 points. Research is objective and logical. We know that objectives matlab we have a certain modules, certain steps involved in it. It has to be logical. That means we should get a conclusion of it. So applying every possible test to validate the data collected and conclusion reached. Research involves quest for answers to unsolved problems. So we should have that interest in getting the solution. It requires courage. Not every person do research. In simple case, we know that earlier days, our like grandmother or maybe nowadays my mother also, she used to make kurdai if you know. So the thing is that they do have their expertise. They know that what is the season which is more suitable for making this, and during what period it's supposed to do, and what temperature it has to be maintained, how many times we have to keep it on the for the to I mean in the sun on, right? So these all things are required because this is also one part of a research. So these all things are very important, and that understanding has to be there, that interest has to be there, then expertise is also important, and courage is equally important. We have to have a courage to reach to the conclusion. That mentality has to be there. Then research is characterized by patient. Sorry, it is not an it is not an hurried activity that I wanted to find out a solution to a particular problem and I wanted to do it in 2 days. No, it's not like a building a web page, right? You have to first apply your research components. You have to go through the research process. Otherwise, you will end up with the failed research, right? Research is carefully recorded and reported. This is also very important step. At each and every step, you have to write your observation, record your observation. Otherwise, you will miss out any point which is important for the next step, right? So you have to use this. I mean, reporting is very important, and that's why this is actually the method which is used in different industries as well as in colleges as well as even research guide tells students to monitor your activity, to justify your result, to see which method is going giving good performance and everything. Recording of results is very important. So for that purpose, these points are very, I know these are very simple, but each and every is having its own importance, right? So 6 plus 5, 11 points are there, which actually giving you the characteristics of research. So this is the important part which has been written in the different types of research. Why research? Because we want the quality of life. This is our final outcome, right? We wanted to have everything at home in one click. So we wanted to improve the quality of life. So that's why it has been researched, right? We wanted to have I mean, there are so many shopping sites which provides you all the like shopping material or whatever groceries and at one click. So this is for which we need a quality of life. We want metro, we want a quality of life. But quality of life requires all these basic elements. The first element is basic research, where what is the knowledge, what is the system, what are the different components of a system, that basic understanding is required. Then how can I use this research in the by using some technology? So which is applying. We are using a particular my research component and applying it to certain application. This is advancement, using advancement of technology. And the third one is you are developing an application, you are using an application, and then you are giving a quality of life. So this is basic basic why research. 5 मिनिटाचा ब्रेक घेऊया. 2 तासाचं लेक्चर आहे आपलं. ऑनलाईन स्टुडंट्स विल टेक 5 minutes ब्रेक.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so let's continue with this. Why research? Because we are actually starting with the basic requirements about the system understanding. We apply the system using the technology. We are constructing an application or constructing a building a system, and this building of a system is designed to get a quality of life. All these components require funding. Funding is essential part of a research, right? So funding is required to understand, because not always the data is freely available to you. If you are working for certain government policies, you need to take their prior permission, you need to talk to them. For that, we have to visit to their place, uh, take their appointment. Maybe you have to stay there for 3 4 days. So all these requires money. So costing is required for basic research. Then you may not be expert of development of your applications. You need to hire someone. So funding is required. Yeah. So this is curiosity. You require every time for the system. Yeah. These are three problem statement, and you need to check that whether these are giving you research or not. Go one by one, online students. Read these problem statement and check and tell me whether these are research or not, whether these are classified as research or not. Consider one by one, read one by one. Based on the characteristics of research, based on the significance of research, check whether these statements are research statement or not. What is the first statement? Someone prepare a paper on computer usage in secondary school. After he prepared a paper, okay, after reviewing literature on the subjects available in his university library. Whether it is a research, what 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 is the study element? The study element is literature on the subjects available is in his university library. Whether it is going to help him to find out computer usage in secondary school? No. So he has to come up with certain hypothesis. He has to come up with the certain research problems which is not been done in the first statement. Okay. What about the second one? Manoj says that he has researched and completed a document which gives information about the age of his students, their parents' income, distance of their school from the district office. Right? The second statement says that he researched and completed a document. What was his intention to find out is not mentioned. He has just prepared a document. Right? He has no set of research questions at his end. So that's why it's just a survey document where he just have collected the information. Only one step is there. Right? And the last one, Kim participated in a workshop on curriculum development and prepared what he calls a report on curriculum for engineers. So he has participated in a workshop of curriculum development and then created a report of curriculum for engineers. So again, only report writing is there. No proper attended of only a workshop and prepared a workshop report. So it's again got a research. So hypothesis has not been defined in the first case. In this second case, it's a simple program which gives you an output, and in the third case, it's a simple report. So there is only a single step of a research process has been handled. So hence, none of these examples are classified in the name of research. Then how do we say an example of research? So let us say this particular problem state. We'll do it one by one. Assume that a general manager of car producing company was concerned with a complaint issued from the car makers that cars they produce have a problem with the sound of dashboard and their passenger say after few thousand kilometers of driving. This is the problem which they have identified. They have got complaints, several complaints. Okay. So the first parameter which is being taken into consideration is customer requirement. After a few thousand kilometers traveling, the problems in the dashboard, noise problem is there. So this was the problem. So how the company solved the problem? In the first case, we obtain information from the company workers to identify various factors influencing the problem. What are the related or relevant factors which are going to affect or which are basically related to them? He then formulated the problem and generated hypothesis cases. जनरली आपण बघतो की हा हा कशामुळे प्रॉब्लेम येतो मे बी या केस इथे काहीतरी डिफेक्ट असेल त्यामुळे हा प्रॉब्लेम येतो मे बी दुसरीकडे असेल सो ए बी असे 3-4 ऑप्शन असतात सो व्हॉट ही डिड इज ही formulated the problem and generated the cases. He constructed a checklist. Problem A, problem B, problem major reasons of he constructed a checklist and then obtained the requisite information from representative samples of cars. Right? He has not been taken all cars into consideration. Sample car and then he he collected all the information. Then in last step he analyzed to collect the data. Whatever the data he has taken as a checklist, whether this is the problem. So all the problem, check the car again, whether the car problem is occurring again, then accordingly he has test case analysis. Accordingly, he analyzed the collected data, he generated the result in the light of the hypothesis and reached the conclusion. So several steps are applied. Starting from collecting data, understanding problem is very important, which is for which he has taken help of company workers. Understanding problem, then generated the hypothesis, work test the hypothesis on the sample data, and accordingly reached to the conclusion. So this is all about the research example. Understood, online students?
Yes, ma'am.
Very होती so that's why I'm trying to give you some examples in between. Okay, what I do is now I will give you one problem, generic problem. You have to write down certain these, I mean, how to solve the problem or how do we reach to the conclusion. Okay. So let us say a simple problem of smoking habits nowadays. It has been increased in young generation and we know that. अगदी म्हणजे 11वी 12वी 7वी 8वीचे पण मुलांकडे बघतो आपण. मुलं not only boys, girls also. So how do we solve this problem? Or how do we reach to the conclusion? What is your strategy to solve this problem? Exactly. So what is the motivation behind the study? First, we have to first see what is the motivation behind the study. Why we are trying to find out smoking patterns.
to avoid the diseases.
Yes, yes. Who is there? Online students, are you talking? Anyone? Pragati?
Yes, ma'am, to
Yeah,
avoid the diseases
yeah,
like
tell.
cancer.
Exactly. Yes. So this gives you the motivation behind this survey that why the survey is important because it is going to affect lungs and because of the ratio of getting infected by cancer like diseases the I mean so because of the percentage are higher so for that purpose we have to do this study. This is the first step. What about the next step? So you have now have motivation behind the work. The next step is obtain information from where you will obtain the information. Exactly. From schools also, from colleges also, and from maybe the sale of cigarette. So all these you will take into consideration and collect smokers themselves. So what is the frequency of smoking and all these details are required. Okay. So once you have collected all the information, then you will come up with certain guesses or hypothesis. So what will be the hypothesis?
Like, ma'am, we can teach or try to find out ways in which we can help student to identify methods by which they can like face the stress or whatever things they are facing or whatever the
Okay.
reason that might be uh, there for them to start smoking.
Right, right. So firstly, we have to see to it that what are the generation, I mean age group in between 20 to 40 are the ratio or the proportion is higher than the from 40 to 60 like this. So this is my one hypothesis or maybe the percentage of uh, smoking habits in boys are more than girls or maybe like this. This may be my second hypothesis. Third hypothesis, what we are trying to do is we are trying to give a solution. Solution is a, I mean that for that purpose we have to first see that what is the proportion? I mean uh, how much people are affecting with this. So that is very important to find out. So for based on this, we can get to the solution. So these two are my hypothesis. What are other hypotheses? Okay, what is current solutions which is provided to handle the problem of smoking habits in young generation?
And nicotine chewing gums is one of them.
Yes, similar kind of other is provided or which is available. Maybe you have some on packet itself there is intimation given, right?
Yes.
Then what are other? There are lots of advertisement which is every day coming during cinema hall, on TV also. So all these things are there. But in spite of it, there is an increase in the smoking patterns. So this only stress is not the reason. Other reasons are also there because they want a quality of life and all these. I mean, quality as in they are considering that अगर ये किया तो life enjoy किया, something like that in young generation, in teenager like group. So all these details are there, all these data which we have. So hypothesis is basically finding out the pattern, finding out the proportion. I mean, just writing a guesses. Ki these are all guesses. Okay, once you have these guesses, then you will be checking the hypothesis based on the sample students. But hypothesis may be because only what will be the अजून hypothesis आपल्याला लागतील. So these hypotheses are not sufficient. So you can increase your advertisement. You can promote someone, some actor, actress, and who can make a advertisement or make a good advertise throughout the something. And even you can come up with some AI application where you can motivate people not to अगर ये हाथ में लिया और अगर मोबाइल पे स्कैन किया something like that. So रियल सिचुएशन में क्या होगा अगर आपने स्मोक किया तो उसका अगर वीडियो भी हाँ so that also can help people to avoid smoking and all. So these all set of hypotheses are there and you need to check each and every hypothesis on sample data. So अगर एक person है उसको ये दिया तो what is his opinion? 10% या 15 या 100 people को you have to take these samples and test the hypothesis one by one. Right? Online students,
Yeah, ma'am.
understood?
Yeah,
Okay.
got it.
So like this, okay, and like this, then you can reach to the conclusion that there has to be some stress management course to be run on in the colleges. There must be awareness to be made available because even we are not doing it in colleges. We don't do it because we don't have time to do these courses. We have lots of academics, theory subject, technical subjects are there, and we don't have time for their daily routine. And students even don't bother about it and they don't even take care. I mean, they even not consider teachers also most of the time. They don't, they are just teachers are for only for technical guidance and all. So they even don't talk to teachers freely. So all these awareness we can initiate at colleges level, school level. So this can be the conclusion of this research. And AI has to be there. So anyone you can take the problem statement for your dissertation work and can work on it. Because this is interesting problem statement. You can use AI and can motivate students to avoid these at the early uh, starting point only, so that it won't, I mean, the problems will get avoided. Okay, so these are all steps you need to follow to reach to the conclusion for any research problem, right? Okay, so this is the basic understanding of research. So the same thing again and again. What is research? Okay, we have already have gone through it, but so finally, what we I wanted to tell you that research is an entire process. The process which we have to follow by taking into consideration data, by finding out hypothesis, test the hypothesis and reach to the conclusion. So these are steps which we need to follow. Based on the steps, we can define the research is systemized effort to gain new knowledge. Because we are coming now, हमने एक problem को discuss किया तो we have come up with certain elements which we have even not discussed earlier. So we have always gaining new knowledge. So systemized effort, it has to be a systematic process. आपने शुरू किया and you have directly implemented an application and reached to the conclusion, ये research नहीं है. It has to be systematic way. Organized scientific investigation to solve problems, test hypotheses, and develop or invent new products. So we are starting with the investigation to solve a problem. We have to test an hypothesis and all. Scientific investigation means you have a scientific process involved in it, starting from your data collection, taking proper data, taking suitable data, appropriate data, and then design strategies also you need to follow. So it has to be scientific investigation. Please so note down this definition. Okay. So the last slide today's for today's class. What is the difference in between research idea and research questions? Okay. So before going in detail of it, what we have till discussed is first you understand your problem, you do the survey and come up with the hypothesis. Once you have an hypothesis, what you have to do is next step is convert these hypotheses into research questions. What will happen if I mean research maybe my proportion my hypothesis is that the smoking habits in boys is more than in girls, something like that, and then accordingly you can write a question, the proportion, what is the proportion of girls and boys smoking patterns in Pune or maybe in India or maybe in Maharashtra. So this is a research question, so you have to take a hypothesis, convert it into research questions. Okay, so whenever you are starting with any research work, you have to have a research questions available with you. Okay, now we know that research idea, majority, mainly what happened, B project करना है तो what is the idea? Project का idea क्या होता है? General we talk about it and accordingly we try to use this idea in the complete project. So what are the research idea? First example is job recruitment via the internet. It was an earlier case. दिस इज अ सिंपल आइडिया कि अगर हमने इंटरनेट यूज किया जॉब रिक्रूटमेंट के लिए तो इट्स अ सिंपल आइडिया बट हाउ डू यू कम अप विद द क्वेश्चन how effective recruiting new staff via the internet in comparison with the traditional method. This is a research question. Okay, so you have to see to it that what is the traditional way, what is if I do it with this, how much it is going to help you, how much is it is reducing the workload, like this. So this is a research question. The second one is the idea may be advertising and share prices. So in a way, how advertising help the company to increase their share prices. So this is another one. Then the future of trade unions is the topic, and what are the strategies that should make it in the future to handle the future viability. So these are all research questions. So maybe you are having a simple topic, but the research questions is very specific based on the topic, based on the idea. So this is, you have to frame your research questions. Only idea is not sufficient. Questions framing is very important. Okay. So this is all about initial part of research process where we have discussed about the necessity of research, the objectives of research, and then research process. What is research by using few examples and the concept of research questions. Okay. In the next lectures, we'll see what are the types of research and then the good criteria of research. So these two topic, again the theoretic part only, but I will try to give you specific examples to identify the different research types. Now, for this, the changes which we have made it by making this subjects in line with the computer engineering. So we have to come up with computer engineering problems and design the research process for it. Okay. Earlier we have talked about smoking habits and everything. That was a generic problem. But then we have reached to the solution by applying AI to handle or to solve the problem. How it has been done, that we don't know. But we have reached to this conclusion. Then later on we can go and dig, we can find out what is a current AI techniques which are available for this. What are they doing? How it has been implemented, or what can be done in future. So these are all next strategies. But we have reached to this conclusion. So this way we have to start with the research process. Okay, let us check the attendance. MEC and MEDS. MECS, roll number one. It is 5101. Okay, starting. Yours is 01, 01, 04, 5201. Okay, tell me your numbers, Pragati.
5206.
0,
6,
3,
6, ma'am.
06. Okay. Abhishek,
I'm yet to get roll number.
I will write your name.
Thank you.
Abhishek Ropde. Your data science students or computer engineering?
I'm from data science.
Okay. Rohit, Pranav.
Ma'am, 5107,
Okay.
computer engineering.
ठीक है. And Zubair.
And data science 09.
Okay. ठीक है. So tomorrow there is a lab of research and lecture आपला कधी आहे पुढचा? ओके, हा मंडेला 9:45 लॅब होते. नाही, हा बरोबर. ठीक आहे. उद्या 11 ते 1 आहे का लॅब? तुमचं पण खरं ओरिएंटेशन इंडक्शन पाहिजे होतं. मे बी 14ला करतील तुम्हाला. सांगितलंय ना? पुढच्या आठवड्यात आहे का? मी आता जवळच राहतात का मग? मग कसा आहे तो? बरंच लांब आहे. किती? 80. हायवे नाही का? वाघोली तू पण बसने येते का? हो. पण वाघोलीला जायला खूप वेळ लागेल तुम्हाला. हम्म. इथेच घेऊन टाकायचं ना कुठेतरी. सोपं पडेल. थोडा दिवस. परत इंटर्नशिप सुरू झाली की इकडंच कुठेतरी घ्यायचं. मी सगळे ऍडमिशन झालेत ना? BS चे सगळे झाले. 13 काहीतरी झाले. हो का? आणि CE चे पण मला वाटतं झालेत 12. टोटल 25 मुलं आहेत. 12 आणि 13 आहे ना? 6 झालेत का? CE चे आणि DS बोललेत. नवीन असतील ते. हा, त्याचा असा रोल नंबर पण नाही मिळालाय अभिषेकला. आता स्पॉट राऊंड पण असेल ना? कसं झाला? आज आहे का? त्याच्यात होऊन जाईल. त्याच्यात होऊन जाईल. आज 7 झालाय म्हणजे 7 मुलं आली आहेत. इन बिटवीन कुणी कॅन्सल केलं असेल तर माहित नाही. ट्वेंटी 25 आहे म्हणजे 12 आहे. पण आता एक EWS ऍडिशनल घेऊ शकतो आपण. ते एक झालं ऍडमिशन. कुठे झालं ते माहित नाही. बहुतेक DS मध्येच असते कारण तो 13 म्हणाला होता. तिथे 13 झालेत आणि CE चे 12. 25 होते. आणि हा कॉमन सब्जेक्ट आहे. मुलं असणार आहेत. मग आपल्याला इव्हॅल्युएशनला बराच वेळ लागेल मला. कारण प्रत्येकाचं प्रेझेंटेशन आहे. हे तर आपण असाइनमेंट तरी सायमल्टेनियसली घेऊ शकतो म्हणजे एका वेळेला, पण प्रेझेंटेशन 1 बाय 1 असेल. सर्वे रिपोर्ट आणि ते पण 1 बाय 1. ते अगोदरपासूनच सुरू करू शक्यतो. मी टॉपिक्स पण आता सगळी मुलं आली की मग देते नेक्स्ट वीकला. बघू सगळी मुलं आल्यावरच सोपं पडेल. लवकर या कारण तुमच्या नंतर एक्झाम पटकन सुरू होतात. म्हणजे मला वाटतं तुमचं टर्मिंग काहीतरी 12 डिसेंबर काहीतरी 20 डिसेंबर आहे बहुतेक. 20-22 डिसेंबर. 20 नाही, हा 20 असेल मला वाटतं. 21 पासून हे आणि लगेच तुमच्या एक्झाम सुरू होतात. हे सगळं आता इंटरनेटच सगळं कॉलेजच घेईल.
ऑटमचं सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट यू मॅम. ऑटमचं टाइम टेबल नाही आलंय का अजून?
आलंय ना टाइम टेबल. तू ग्रुपवर नाहीस का? ग्रुपवर
आहे ना
टाकलाय ना?
मॅम.
हा, मग तू ज्यावेळेस जॉईन केलं त्याच्या अगोदर पाठवलं असेल कोणी.
मे बी.
परत फॉरवर्ड
आहे.
करायला लागेल.
चालेल चालेल. थँक्स मॅम. अँड मॅम नेक्स्ट वीक कुठले हॉलिडेज नाही आहेत ना, म्हणजे 16, 17 वगैरे?
हो आहे ना, आहे. मंगळवारी आहे.
मंगळवारी आहे, सोमवारी नाही ना?
सोमवारी नाहीये. नाही.
ओके ओके.
ईद आहे पण नाहीये, आपल्याला नाहीये कारण आता एकच सुट्टी आहे पुढच्या आठवड्यात.
चालेल.
तुम्हाला प्रॉब्लेम येईल पण ना अनंत चतुर्दशीच्या दुसऱ्या दिवशी काही जरा अडचण होऊ शकते तिकडनं यायचं. ठीक आहे, मी एंड करते मीटिंग. उद्या प्रॅक्टिकल आहे रिसर्च. ओके.
ओके मॅम, कॉलेजला
ठीक आहे
येऊ
स्टुडंट,
शकतो?
थँक्यू. हो कॉलेजला आता येऊ शकतो, ही मुलं आली आहेत ना.
हो.
कॉलेजला आलं तर बरं पडेल प्रणव. तू
मला
असशील तर
बोलले की
कॉलेजला.
ऑनलाईन, त्यामुळे
हो
मी आलो.
ऑनलाईनच आहे. हो हो हो, पण आता कमी कमी स्टुडंट्स आहेत ना, त्यामुळे त्यांनी अलाउड केलंय.
ओके ओके ओके.
येऊन जा तू उद्यापासून किंवा आज दुपारी
चालतंय
जमलं तर दुपारपासून. हो
चालतंय मॅम, उद्या येतो.
हो हो. हा, ते बरं पडेल. ठीक आहे, ठीक आहे, चालेल. मी एंड करते मीटिंग.
येस.
बघ मेरी जान झालं नाही.